I'm arriving at Terminal 1, San Francisco. I just now take airport train from Terminal 2, and I'm going to fly to New York tonight at 9 p.m. Here is the Sky train and the elevator. I'm going to Delta for check-in. So at the JFK terminals, waiting for the shuttle bus, going to Grand Center, and then going to the taxi hotel. This is the JFK. Oh. Isn't this city ever asleep? Oh my god, now it's only like 5:30 a.m. and the traffic in New York is already so busy. And actually this is in the airport area, and it is snowing, very heavy snow, that is probably caused the traffic. Alright, so after waiting for like 4.5 hours, I can check in at 12, and this is my room. I can't wait to sleep for over 10 hours because I'm so sleepy. 22 hours in flight, I never sleep. Okay, but I like to show you my room first. It's very simple. This is an holiday in Manhattan, and the view overlooking to the cities. And can you see it is the snow? Actually, the snow is started in the morning 5 p.m. or earlier, and until now it's still not stopped yet. I also cannot go out, so I better rest, and then we will start my journey tomorrow. Okay, so I'm on 29th floor. Wake up at 4:30 in the morning. This is the view out there from my room. Very beautiful and high building around here. It's still very quiet down there. Only a few cars passing. Seems I have to avoid Brooklyn today. I cannot visit because it seems like something happened. 4 people was fatally shot in Brooklyn, so I'm going to cancel my visit there. I found this church, the Trinity Church, here. So actually I also can walk from that side. Oh my god, this is very cold, freezing, and very windy. It's very difficult for me to walk here, but I must go and I want to see the ground zero. Wow, it's so cold. Sometimes I have to get into the shopping mall first to warm up a bit and then come out again. This is the One World Trade Center. The World Trade Center buildings, as you know what happened on the September 11, so they rebuilt One World Trade Center, as known as the 1WTC, or is the main building of the rebuilt World Freedom Tower in Lower Manhattan, New York City. It is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere and the 6th tallest in the world. The super tall structure has the same name as the North Tower of the original World Trade Center, which was destroyed in the terrorist attack on September 11, 2001. The new skyscraper stands on the northwest corner of the 16-acre World Trade Center site, on the site of the original 6th World Trade Center. The building is bounded by the West Street and to the west. The building architect was Davy Childs, whose films Skidmore, Owings and Merrill's also designed the Bulls Khalifa and the Willis Tower, the construction of below-ground utility relocation. Footings and foundation of the new buildings begins on April 27, 2006. One World Trade Center became the tallest structure in New York City on April 30, 2012, when it surpasses the height of the Empire State Building. The tower's steel structure was topped out on August 30, 2012. On the May 10, 2013, the final component of the skyscraper's spires was installed, making the buildings, including its spires, reached a total height of 1,776 feet or 541 meters. Each height in feet is a deliberate reference to the year when the United States Declaration of the Independence was signed. The building opened on November 3, 2014. The one blew off so fatally on May 29 on 2015. The new World Trade Center complex will eventually include 5 high-rise office buildings built along Greenwich Street, as well as the National September 11 Memorial and Museum, located just south of the One World Trade Center where the original Twin Towers stood. The construction of the new building is part of an effort to memorize and rebuild following the destruction of the original World Trade Center complex. And this is 9/11 Memorials and Museum. I didn't enter due to the time that I don't have much time over here. This is the ticketing prices, and let me ask the guys how long they are queuing because it's too much people queuing there. I have time.
Hello, may I ask how long you've been queuing for the tickets?
15 minutes.
15. 1-5? Oh, thank you.
I'm going to explore the whole Oculus building. Look, it is so beautiful. The memorial was planned in the immediate aftermath of the attack and destruction of the World Trade Center for the victims and those involved in rescue and recovery operation. The winners of the World Trade Center Site Memorial Competition was Israel architect Michael Arad of Handel Architect. Arad worked with landscape architect firm Peter Walker and partners on the design, creating a forest of swamp white oak trees with 2 square reflecting pools in the center, making where the Twin Towers stood in August 2006. It's enough to shop over here. I don't have to go to Grand Central or the Times Square anymore. It's more interesting to shop here. Wow, this place is huge and all green. Maybe I'll follow Dior. The forest or like a brand. So this is if you like to take the subway, just grab the map and follow all the instructions. So you can go into the subway. So here I'm in the Broadway. Also can go through the One World Center and the Oculus. Remember on my previous video that I cannot show you much because these memorials is not ready on the buildings, and I only show you one icon of the destruction of the World Trade Center. For 3 decades, this sculpture stood in the plaza of the World Trade Center. entitled The Spare, is what conceived by artist Fritz Koenig as a symbol of world peace. So from here, you can see that one is a museum of the 9/11. On the map, it's a ground zero, and this is the new One World Trade Center, which is built after the two Twin Tower was. It was damaged during the tragic event of September 11, 2001, but endorsed as an icon of hope and the indestructible spirit of this country. The spare was placed here honorary memorial to all who lost their life in the terrorist attack at the World Trade Center. This eternal flame was ignited on September 11, 2002 in honor of all those who were lost. Their spirit and sacrifice will never be forgotten. So this is the legislation. So I just launched at the Lake District to the Liberty. This is the Hudson River. It's very cold, very cold. My purpose today is to walk to the Hudson River side to take a video of the Liberty statue. It's because I've been to the Staten Island as I show you on my previous video. So I decided not to go again on this time. So I like to take the video from the opposite side of the Liberty statue. It really looks more clear and beautiful, with surrounding by all the buildings and the park and also the river. It looks so beautiful. But it's too bad, this is too cold and very windy. I cannot walk because I have to against the wind. It's too cold, and finally I give up. I don't want to too close to the river, so it's time for me to heading back. Besides, it's very cold. I'm also haven't had my lunch, so I'm very hungry. This is the City Hall Park. I'm walking to the Center Road looking for my Thai food. Okay, now so from the City Hall, walk to the Broadway, and now I'm in La Valle. There is the True Administration Justice in the famous Pillar of God, and this one's United States Courthouse, which is thousand movie was shot from here, and that one is the walking path to the Brooklyn Bridge. Later I'm going to walk to that side. Now I need my Thai food. So I think the courthouse is not for tourists. There's not a lot of people over there. Go into the courthouse. I'm hungry. I'm not going to.
Another white-haired lady.
Chinatown. A lot of people gathering together. Okay, so that one is my Jasmine restaurant, the Thai food. Oh, finally I found the Thai food. Oh, they're playing. So this is the Chinatown in New York, and a lot of bicycle rent. I supposed to rent one, but because the weather is too cold, I cannot ride a bike with cold weather. Very nice. Okay, so here's my Tom Yum Goong. It just been tied. It's look very yummy. And the seasonings also look very fresh. And the tofu.
That was famous as a place of movie scenes. Noise was always loud. There were sirens all around, and the streets of me.
Okay. This one is Broadway Bridge that I told you earlier in my early video. And that one, you see a little bit over there? It's a Manhattan Bridge. Okay, let me bring you closer. In front of me, two officers excavating.
Even if it ain't all it seems, I got a pocket full of dreams, baby. I'm from New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're
So here I'm walking into the Brooklyn Bridge. It's so beautiful. On my last video about Manhattan, I told you a lot about the Brooklyn Bridge. And here I will tell you a little bit about it to remember. Okay, so stretching across the East River, the iconic Brooklyn Bridge opened up back in 1883 to carry traffic between Lower Manhattan and Brooklyn. One of the most recognizable part of the New York City's skyline, the bridge has been featured in movies and on television shows. It's a bunch a lot, and it's a real piece of New York City history. A stroll across the elevated pedestrian walkway provides a true New York City experience. The Manhattan side's entrance is at Park Row and Center Street, across from the City Hall Park, east of the City Hall. Over the Brooklyn side, enter at Catman Plaza East or where Muriel Place meets Tillery Street. Right now, it's getting closer. There is Hudson River, and on the other side, the Manhattan Bridge. It starts snowing again. Can you see? Back to the Trinity Church over there, and this is the Broadway. There is so many food trucks with all halal food. Checking out right now, and found out my room actually overlooking to a little bit One World Trade Center. and the Hudson River, and also a little bit the octopus. As you can see, a little bit glimpse of the octopus over there. The small one. Okay, it's very comfortable to stay in Holiday Inn. The bed is super comfortable. I sleep so well, and I love to stay and probably to come back here again every time I visit New York.
Noise was always loud. There was a